Okay. Does anyone have any virtual services they've done? Robin?
Virginia Chapman and I made masks for Caleb Westfall and his crew and delivered them on Monday. And she took a picture and she'll send all that information to you.
Yeah, okay. Carol, did you get something?
Yes, I did. I have it. And in fact, I have one picture and Virginia sending me some others.
Good.
Oh, cool.
Well, we've tried to post this on our Facebook page and on our website every weekend. So if you haven't looked at our website since a couple of weeks or so, you might go back and check. And our Facebook as well, if you're on Facebook, for what happened last week. A lot went on last week. Thank you, everybody.
Great.
Ray, how are you
Hello.
doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Charles?
Good man. Good man.
Charles?
Yes.
Nancy? Charles?
Hello.
Hello.
I donated elastic to Virginia for her mask.
That works.
Yep. From my sewing days.
Okay. And I tried to give blood, but nobody would take it.
Well, I can understand that, Charles.
Yeah, what can I tell you? I'm going to mark it down anyway because I did go down there and wander through that rat warren, which is the VA medical center, until I finally found someplace. But I'm taking drugs that will not allow me at the present time to donate blood. So what a bummer. It's the first time in my life that I worked up the nerve to go down there and donate, and they wouldn't take it. There's something very poetic about that. I'm not sure exactly what, so.
The thought counts.
Yeah, well, good. Anybody else?
Charles?
You know what, Charles? Let
Yes.
your fingers do the walking.
And that means something, why?
Meaning you could have called ahead to find out if there were restrictions. Remember that ad long time ago for Yellow Pages? Let your fingers do the walking through the Yellow Pages. Remember?
I remember the joke that said, let your pages do the walking through the yellow fingers, but that's another story altogether.
I never heard that. Okay, back on mute.
Okay, Dwayne, you were first.
Julie and I picked up a mobility scooter that was donated by, I got referred by the company that puts my name out to people that have equipment to donate. Initially, this was supposed to be to get scooters for our wheelchair stroller booth, but it's turned into something where we partnered with a caring closet. But Julie and I went and picked up a really nice mobility scooter from a couple in Portland and a couple other bathroom accessory pieces that people would use. But kind of a perk was that the donor, I found out in the picking up of it, was a member of the Gresham Rotary Club. And
Cool.
so kind of fun to connect with him. And Caring Closet right now is not open like everybody else, but they are taking phone calls and making arrangements. If somebody needs something, they do it on the phone, and then somebody will go down and distribute whatever it is they might have that would be helpful.
Cool, cool. How much time did you invest in that? That's kind of a trip back and forth, isn't it?
I don't keep it. It does get a little complicated with making arrangements, making the trip, opening up and closing. The Caring Closet, has trusted me with the number for the door there, so I can get in and out without having to bother anyone else. So, but it's a few hours.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you. Deb, you had something.
Oh, it was something funny after your comment about going to give blood. I am not allowed to give blood anymore because I lived in England thanks to Rotary in 1993-94 when mad cow disease was out. And so it lays dormant in people's systems. So I cannot give blood anymore. So if you ever see me walking wobbly or acting very strange, I may have the expression of mad cow disease.
Yeah, okay. Yes.
That explains a lot. That just explains a lot.
Yeah.
Carol.
FYI, those of you who are chatting and sending information of what you have done, I've captured that. And if you have pictures, send those to me. If not, either way, I will post them on Facebook and send that information to Virginia as well.
Cool.
That would be Becky and John.
All righty. Sounds good.
Right.
Okay, anybody else before we move on? Paul.
Hey, so I haven't given blood this week, but I spoke to the Red Cross and they're booking 2 weeks out. So May 1st is when I'm going in. And supposedly I have double nice blood. Part of it is I've got O negative, which is universal. But they also tell me I did not get some weird flu that 80% of the population has, so they can give my blood to infants. Go figure.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Whom else? That's it. All right. Let's have a quick avenues of service, and then I have, Danette has a special introduction for something that we have going on. So, anyone have any avenues of service that they want to mention? No. Okay. Let's see, Danette, are you still on?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Take it away.
Well, first, I would just like to introduce Evan Strandberg. He is here with me today as a guest, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about how IQ is partnering with Rotary, our Rotary Club, for Legacy Salmon Creek. But first, I believe Virginia is going to kick that off, and then she'll send it over to Evan.
Okay, so I think because Virginia Chapman is tied up, I'm going to kind of step in for her. So I think it's been a couple weeks ago. I'm sure everybody saw all the nice news stories of other folks in different parts of the country who had arranged fundraisers to both support the local restaurants and feed the first responders. And so I thought it'd be kind of cool if we did something like that here in our community and approached Rotary, our Rotary Club. I thought it would be a really nice idea for us to do that. So I talked to Charles and Carol, and then we presented it to the Community Services Committee. And then Danette got wind of the project, and with her, combining forces with IQ Credit Union and Rotary, she more than doubled the amount of money that was going to be available for the donation. So anyway, that's how that project got started. But I'd like Danette and Evan to take it from here, because they've made this project into something that's going to be really special, I think. So I'd like them to go ahead and take it from here, because I'm really excited about this.
Okay. Evan, if you want to go ahead, our total donation will be between Rotary and IQ will now be $3,500.
Nice. Very nice.
Very nice.
Well, hey everybody, how are you?
Hey,
good to see some
welcome.
familiar faces out there in all the squares.
Nice commercial,
Thank
Evan.
you for letting me join today. We're really excited about this program. It is going to be a lot of fun. It's great to see Rotary and IQ kind of come together. And there's a program that IQ does every month with KGW that we figured out that we can tie this into, get some good press out there in the community for good things that are happening. So each month we go out with KGW and film a spot where we're, buying lunch for somebody or getting ice cream. And then we're able to play that for a month on KGW. And we're going to be able to do that with this Rotary IQ Legacy Salmon Creek donation of food. So it's going to be really cool. We're looking forward to the Rotary going out and getting the gift cards for 4 different restaurants, and then a ton of money is going to beaches as well. And then next Wednesday, we'll be able to deliver all of that to Legacy Salmon Creek to feed the staff in the departments that are serving the, serving the frontline employees that are working extra hours, they're working with the community, and then the back office staff that are supporting those healthcare employees as well. And then I don't know if anybody's seen this, but each night at 7 o'clock, there's a big celebration that happens, especially like in Portland or at some of the hospitals, where folks are encouraged at 7 p.m. to go out, make noise, celebrate for those frontline healthcare employees. So we thought, why not bring folks out to the hospital? So next Wednesday night, we're going to meet at 7 o'clock on the rooftop of the Legacy Salmon Creek parking garage. Obviously keeping safe distance between each other, everybody driving separately. But we're going to go to the hospital, make noise, celebrate those folks so that they know that the community is there for them. We're then going to take the photos that we get from our staff being there, Rotary being there, and then from the staff at the hospital, and create a commercial with KGW through that. And I believe if you'd like to come, we encourage the folks from Rotary to wear your blue shirts. Come next Wednesday to Legacy Salmon Creek, to the top of the parking garage. We're going to meet at 6:45 p.m. If you're interested in joining with us, if you could email Danette, and then she can keep track of who's coming and then get any day of information out there. So it's really exciting. I'm looking forward to this. Did I forget anything, Danette?
No, in fact, if you want, I can send an email out to the club letting them know the particulars of what time we're going to be there. And then if you want to be there and share any photos of yourself, then we need to get a photo release from you, and I will attach that. We're still working with the hospital to get particulars from them. Did we get permission yet to do the commercial part of it?
Not yet. Hopefully soon.
Yeah, we think that part's coming soon. And if for some reason we don't get permission to do the commercial, it'll just be one heck of a social media blitz. And we'll do everything that we can to make it as nice as possible. So we'll need photo releases from anybody that might be sending in selfies or somewhat visible and in that commercial. And so on the social distancing, if you want to come up to the parking garage, you can get out of your car, stand next to your car, but we can't group up. We need to all stay apart and really show our respect for the social distancing, or we'll all be in trouble for that. So we're really looking forward to this. This was something that we wanted to do at IQ, and we found out that Rotary was doing it. We thought, oh, this is a perfect way to partner up and see there's just maybe so much more that we can do if we do it together. Virginia, was there anything you wanted to add? You came up with this wonderful idea. And
yeah, I just wanted to let people know, I was speaking with Shirley Gross, who's my contact at Legacy. And we were at first thinking we would feed the nurses and doctors. And she said, oh, they get all the attention. And she thought it would be nice to honor or recognize the people, the support staff that you don't think about, like the housekeeping. They're spending a lot of time sanitizing and, keeping the area safe for all the staff. And I think she also mentioned the IT people, and what else did she also, the food service people too, I think.
Food services, biomed, facilities.
Right.
There's just a nice big group of people.
So I think this is a group of people that have not traditionally been recognized, so it's going to make it kind of special, because I think people have already, from talking to both Mark Matthias at Peace, who had brought 200 pizzas to Peace Health a couple weeks ago. There was an anonymous donor that donated $5,000 to Beaches and asked him to feed Peace Health. So, they've done that. And there have been a few restaurants or coffee places that we've heard of that have also fed the staff at legacy, but I don't think anybody's done anything like this project. You know, with this one, what we were doing is donating money in the form of gift cards and gift certificates that could go to the different departments. And then that would allow them to pick and choose a time that works well for each department to have a meal at the hospital. So I think our project is a little bit different than some of the other ones.
I have a question. Jeanette, I assume that if we have some Interact kids who are interested, you know, they're still teenagers, almost all of them are under 18. If I get their photo releases, is it okay if they join us?
They have to come individually.
Well, of course they do. I mean, we know that. The way I put it out to them was you would come in your own cars, you would stay in your own, the whole thing we have.
Yeah.
But there are some that are interested in doing that. But my question to you is, I'm assuming it's okay as long as they have a photo release.
As long as we have photo releases and they come separately like everybody else and stay near their vehicles so that we're all socially distanced, then we're all good.
Most of them will probably come with a parent.
Right. Yeah. So I think that sounds good. So President Charles, I can send up a follow-up after the meeting to the club. And if people want to respond to that, then they can let us know that they're interested.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to mention about this is that there are, I don't think I'm talking out of school because you mentioned it, Danette, but there are a couple of board members at IQ Credit Union that feel strongly enough about this project that they went in also with a couple of personal donations. So what we do on the 22nd may not be everything that we're able to do. We might be able to extend it a little bit with some additional donations. Now, I avoided opening this up to members of our Rotary Club for private donations to this effort, because I know that some people have said, well, everybody seems to be coming to us with their hand out, you know, so I'm trying to be sensitive to that. But given the nature of this situation and the scope of this situation, if you wish to join in with a personal donation, you can make it to the foundation, memo the check as you normally have done, memo the check, you know, that it's for the Legacy Hospital Food Project, and we can put that in with what's being done, because IQ is going to donate directly to our foundation, and we're going to run everything through the foundation. So if you want to participate, then by all means, please do so. You know,
I think that Cherie is going to be cutting checks to the restaurants on Monday, so gift certificates can be purchased. So the funds need to be in there pretty much immediately.
Charles, they can use the website to donate.
Oh, that would be great.
Well, we haven't gotten that cleared
immediate.
yet.
What?
We haven't gotten that cleared yet, Nancy, because
What do you mean?
the foundation wanted to make sure that we had certain very specific language that would identify exactly what was happening on the website. So that's not been approved as yet.
Okay, well, Cherie and I would know which ones were probably for this purpose, but yeah, let me know what you want to do.
Yeah.
I'm the one that goes to the website and collects the information.
Right. Well, this is something
I run the
that,
report on the website. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Jim, are you? I think that's you with the little blank black square that says Jim on it, and you're muted. Can you unmute yourself?
Charles, I can help with Square as well. I've got the all of that on my phone. If somebody wanted to call me with their credit card, I can easily do it that way. I can do it on my computer.
Okay, well, we can work through it then if that's the situation. I just hesitate doing it through the website because the website is public facing without having the prescribed wording that Jim West had wanted us to make sure was there before we open this up.
Yeah, that's smart.
Well, we might be able to do that. Virginia Chapman might be able to put that wording on there. So,
yeah. And as I said, it's not necessarily that we have to do this by Monday. We, as far as what we're putting in the net, you know, with our initial contributions and yours, yeah, that's in by Monday because Cherie will be cutting the check. But if we have other people, for example, your board members want to do this after the fact, any of our members want to do this after the fact and put some more money in there, then we can just, you know, extend it for another week or two and put out another drop of cards and gift certificates if it comes down to that. Okay. Any questions on that? I'm really stoked about it because I think it's a really good, opportunity for us having some publicity, for us being able to actually do something that's very worthy. And hats off to Virginia Wong because she took this and ran with it. I mean, she just ran with it. When she got this in her head, she came and she did all the right things. She pushed it really hard and got it through community service, got it through the board, got it through the foundation multiple times. And here we are. So
great. Yep.
It was
congratulations.
A team effort. It takes a village.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Okay.
Well, thank you for letting me jump in. I'll jump out. I look forward to seeing everybody there next Wednesday night on top of the parking garage.
6:45, right?
Yep, 6:45.
Got it.
Hi, Evan.
Yeah.
He's our coordinator extraordinaire on our side. He's helping us put it all together. So we really appreciate that.
Thank you. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Is Josie on? Well, I know she was on. Is she still on? Josie.
Yes, I'm on.
Oh, cool. Josie sent me a chat on the chat system here saying that on May 7th, she's hosting a blood drive at Waste Connections. Is this just for Waste Connections or is it open to
it's
other
open
parties?
to all of you, and I would love for any of you to show up. It's going to be 11 to 4:30.
11 to 4:30 at Waste Connections.
Mm-hmm. I'll be there
Okay.
all day.
So if there's anybody who wants to donate on that day, obviously, let your fingers do the walking, according to Sarah. Make sure that your blood is compatible with what they actually need, what they want. And please donate because that's a very important thing.
Yeah, and I will mention that they will be taking people's temperature before you're allowed in the building. And,
right.
And all of the tables will be sanitized between use and proper social distancing. So they're really serious about it.
Yeah, and everybody wears a mask. I found that out. I got to keep my mask. Big deal, but hey.
Is there a sign-up form that you can email us that we sign up that we can email out to others? Yeah, because I'd like to get a lot of people to donate in for Phil's case, so that would be great.
Yeah, I will send a link out for everybody. And there's actually no one at our office right now, so it'll be interesting. Everybody's working remotely.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. We're going to do a little pride at this point, and then we will get right to our speaker. So, does anyone have a pride recognition that they would like to have today?
I do.
Go.
So I went to get Rachel a week or so ago, and she and I drove 3,000 miles in 5 days, and the country is basically closed, which was very interesting in terms of driving across the country. We could get gas and a few hotels, but no sightseeing, nothing open. It's very strange to see no one on the roads in all of the major cities and nobody in any of the parking lots at Target and Costco. Well, Costco had people, but the malls and all of those kinds of things. So that was a very fast drive home. But my other pride dollars is that Kelly turned 21 on Tuesday. So we now have 3 complete adults in the house instead of 2 and an underage adult in the house. So it's pretty exciting, but she's on lockdown. We all are. So she didn't even get to see any of her friends. But we did support one of our local restaurants for dinner. So that was at least something. So that's my pride dollars.
Cool, 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 cool. At least you can drink legally now.
Funny thing is, Kelly cannot stand alcohol. When she was in Germany for that year, she did not drink. All of the rest of the kids did. She had 1 sip and said, nope, not for me. So she's not interested, which is very weird. She's a strange child.
That's just wrong.
She's a strange child.
Okay, anyone else have some pride? Carol.
Some of you may have seen me answering my phone just a minute ago. And Charles, you don't know this yet. We just got a phone call from our grandson, Bobby, who's finishing up his master's. And when he turned in his paper yesterday, he got a reply today. He had just gotten it, saying that seldom, if ever, the prof that he turned this into, who is a very well-known academician, said that has he ever received a paper that was completely publishable just the way it was submitted. You guys, this is amazing. This is amazing. I'm so, 56-page paper. We read it and read it and read it. Amazing thing. And it all deals with political lies. So it's a very interesting on the international stage. So it's a very interesting thing. And I'm so excited. I just, when you back someone like that and then they do so well, that really makes you pleased. That's a pride. Great.
That's cool.
Great. Yeah, you talk about it takes a village. That really took a village. We had some late nights on that one. Anybody else before we have Wendy introduced?
I would just like to tell Virginia, thank you for getting this project going. It's pretty exciting.
All right.
You're welcome. You're very
You went mute.
She went mute.
I went mute. Oh, am I on now? Oh,
You're on.
I'm having technical difficulties. Yes. Okay. Well, thank you. Oops. Thank you very much to everybody. I'm so glad that Rotary took this on, and with IQ Credit Union and Danette's help, it's going to be fabulous. So
good. Thanks all. Carol, would you make the introduction?
Sure, I'd love to. Hi, Wendy. We have met a couple times before. Wendy has been to a meeting, one of our meetings, and is an amazing person. I'm going to read you a little bit from something that our mutual friend Val Barisal sent me this morning about Wendy. Wendy's referred to sometimes as a shero. She's a trailblazer. She's working in a predominantly male industry with less than 10% female participation. And as an owner, she represents an even smaller percentage in the industry. According to her, in construction and roofing in particular, the world is predominantly male. Women are often objectified. The sales rep look for males as decision makers, and the manufacturers offer rewards that are focused mainly toward males. It's been an adventure for some, for sure, says Wendy as she wipes her eyes and crying. The Vancouver Business Journal asked, I'm gonna shorten this because of time, but I do want to end with this. Shero, trailblazer, company owner, and geometry whiz, Wendy has made a name for herself in the construction industry. While it might not always be easy, she's continued to be the backbone of a thriving and growing company. Congratulations, Wendy. And I hear that your topic today is resilience, and boy, we need some of that. So thank you for joining us, and you're on.
Oh my goodness. Thank you guys so much for having me. Before we start, do you have a hard stop? Because I think we ran a little bit over on starting. Do we need to cut a little short?
We go until from 12:10 to 1:10. So,
okay.
We've got time.
Perfect. I've got some time at the end to ask for questions too. So thank you for having me, President Charles and Carol and everybody. I see a lot of familiar faces out there. It's really cool that you guys are such big parts of the community and people that move and shake. I love it. I'm having a hard time with this virtual stuff. I certainly wish I was with you in person. And I don't know, you guys just all look like you're amazing at this. So yeah, that's awesome. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, some of the things I've learned in the past few years, and then we're going to talk about some practical ideas that kind of happened with my journey through this that I hope that you can use to find your own resilience during these times. And then I'll leave some time at the end for some questions if you guys want to throw anything out. I'm happy to answer anything. So as Carol mentioned, my name is Wendy Marvin. I am actually a co-founder and CEO of Matrix Roofing and Home Solutions. We specialize in roofing and home renovations and repairs. And we just recently made the decision to add an insurance division so we can assist with home insurance damage claims too, hoping that'll be a little bit of a recession-proof thing to add to our group. So we're looking forward to that. So I opened my company in 2007 with my now ex-husband. We had a really good life and a great business. We had just finished renovating the home of our dreams. The company was good, being founded on the principle of customer service and taking care of our people. We rarely fought. We were best friends, thought life was pretty good. But it's interesting because at that time in my life, while feeling fairly successful, I was not engaged in my community and involved with people other than kind of my immediate family. That all kind of changed for me in 2016. I had a surprise morning where my husband of 22 years woke up and just basically said he didn't think he wanted to do this anymore. And I seriously thought he was talking about who we had invited over for dinner that night. But unfortunately, he was talking about being married. And so as we transitioned and tried to figure things out, I went into fix-it mode. We worked together and went to counseling and did some other things together to try to figure. My big thought was just that this was a midlife crisis and that we were going to get through it. 22 years is a long time to be with one person, you know, and people go in and out of being in love. So about 3 months into it, he just unexpectedly moved out. And I literally found myself on the floor in the office and couldn't get up. So probably the depths of the despair that I felt during this time. We worked together for about a year. And I'm just going to say straight up that was just pure hell. He tried to do some of the things he did while we were married, such as call me during the day and check in and do some other things. And it just was difficult. But because he hadn't filed divorce papers, I hung in there being a good wife. So you can imagine the relief it was at the point after working together for a year in this manner that I found out that there was a 29-year-old girlfriend. So, and I know, you know, a lot of you guys are probably sitting out there going, well, yeah, duh. But this was really somebody that I trusted and somebody that I did not think was going to be someone that did that. But it did. And what ended up happening that day is I walked into his office and I said, either you're going to go or I'm going to go. And I went back to my office and I called my attorney and I filed papers. And I fully expected, as I was beginning to pack up my desk, that I would be the person that was leaving. And what we found as we retired him out was that I really had been running the company behind the scenes. And, you know, originally I had seen this as a kind of a female thing where we take a back seat, but I think it's a person thing where there are times in our lives where we put ourselves secondary to someone that maybe doesn't deserve that, or we fail to step forward in the light of who we really are. And that was certainly the case for me in the 11 years that we had been in business together. And so, you know, I got myself back out into the community. I reconnected with people. I made sure that I went out to chamber events, was probably the first place that I got into. And I found just an amazing, amazing group of people that we have in our local chapters, and was able to reconnect and kind of get my my brain and my business back on track. So in 2018, we actually won Small Business of the Year. And that was a real turning point for me to stop apologizing for being a female in my industry, and to stop putting myself second to other people in our industry who, just have some different beliefs in terms of construction and who should be running what. So the finding my power piece was important, and realizing that I'd run the company all along. But, at the end of the story, the biggest thing that changed for me as I got back out into the community, and I became more of who I am, and kind of truer to myself, was that the story in my head changed. And I think that's going to be something that we can talk about in a little bit, just about resiliency and how, some of this that's happening right now can be explained as happening to us. A lot of it can be explained as happening to us, but some of that is affecting us in a negative manner. And so what we want to try to do, as I had done, is, I stopped telling myself that this person left me. I stopped telling myself that I wasn't enough to keep my marriage together. I stopped telling myself that I wasn't, ladies, thin enough or pretty enough to keep my husband away from a 29-year-old woman. And I just realized that this wasn't about me, it was about him and what he needed to do with his life. And then I started moving further into that story, where I was able to tell myself that it was a good thing that we made that transition, and that I deserve more in a partner, and that that through the change of the story in my head, I started to heal and become a better person. So when I'm talking about living in the despairs of that emotion and chaos, I certainly feel like that relates to what we're living through right now. I don't know where you guys were. I always feel like that, those moments in time where you have that 9/11, where were you? And, where were you when we really had that moment where they told us we were going to be on complete and physical lockdown? And then the other part that I think has happened a lot in this time in our life is that a lot of us are taking a back seat to anyone else who will take control of our situations and tell us how to make it better, because all of us are feeling a lot of confusion and frustration over what's happening. So sound like anything else you're feeling right now? Yeah, and especially about the part that your life is being turned upside down by something you can't control. So as I've talked about my story before, I just found it really poignant that I've worked through these pieces with counseling and reading and doing a lot of personal work. And I feel like I'm better equipped to work through what we're being given right now. It's nice that I can see you, but I can see about 4 or 5 of you. Are there any yeses out there? Like, you guys have felt this? Things are happening, like you're feeling that? Yes. Yeah, thanks, you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's rough. And
Of course.
Yeah, unprecedented times for sure. So what I wanted to do is, I know that not everything I'm going to talk to you about will resonate with everybody, but I'm hoping that if I can give you some of the things that I learned along the way, that maybe just 1 or 2 of them will help you get through it. So feel free to grab a pencil if you feel like it, and I'll run these through. I have a couple papers available for you guys if you'd like, that I can add. Also, I'll send over to Carol and to kind of work through this. So the first one that I worked through, that I learned about, is allowing myself some downtime without judgment. And the down piece of it, and I don't just mean like where we're sheltering at home downtime, but I mean downtime where you're just feeling like it's not okay. And I think we've all had waves of that as, you know, for me, the helplessness is something that will put me into a downtime. Part of the downtimes I've had have been working through and doing all of the stuff I needed to do this PPP loan, only to have the criteria changed 25 times along the way. So allowing those times to be able to be okay is, to be able to be down is okay. Just making sure that that's not where you live, because that's not a healthy place for any of us. And one of the things that my counselor has worked with me again and again on is I'm a very, being a business owner and an entrepreneur, I'm a perfectionist. I want things done the right way. So I have a lot of shoulds. I should have done this differently. I could have done that differently. And I get told frequently that I'm shoulding again and I need to stop. So I want to offer you guys that is, you know, eliminate the shoulds in your world and just allow yourself to be whatever it is that you need to be right now. I have a feeling wheel that I was given by a friend, and it's a really interesting place to try to put what you're feeling into words. Because for some reason, giving physical, tangible things to what you're feeling helps release them. And so journaling has been a good help for me. The cycle that I went through with my ex-husband is really the first time I have ever been deep in anxiety. This has never been a part of my life prior to that, but I had moments where my heart would race and I started having panic attacks. And I feel for people who live with this on a regular basis, because it's not pretty and it's very overwhelming. But one of the things that I was taught is what they call circle breathing. So when you're starting to feel that moment of tension and overwhelming, circle breathing is one of the things you do, where you breathe in for 4, and then you hold for 4, and then you breathe out for 4, and you hold for 4. And I actually found out just the other day from a friend of the family who's a psychoanalyst, who explained to me that this method actually activates your parasympathetic nervous system and physically changes your stress response. So that's been a really good tool for me. Finding one thing to do differently until something feels better. So when things are really good, my counselor had me write a list of all the things that I love. And I have things from horses to crafting. I was specific. I love crochet. I garden. I specifically love, I have an earthworm farm that I love. I have cats. You know, so you have this list. And when you're in those places where you're just not feeling good, is you pull out that list and you look for one thing, and then you try to find a way to engage with that one thing. So horses are one of the things I love. I have a couple books lying around that have just pictures of horses. Maybe gardening, maybe you could just get outside. You know, music, adding music to your room. Sometimes it's not music. Sometimes it's the elimination of things like television. I don't know about you guys, but I have to turn the TV off some days just because I just can't stomach it anymore. And then along with that, for me, is movement. And so there are a lot of times I will just throw my shoes on and I'm out of the house, just going up to the mailbox or something and coming back. Just that physical change is enough to help offset and change your mind. And then the last thing was just reaching out and connecting. And you guys all sound like you're amazing connectors. And I think this is a huge part of feeling successful in this environment of chaos that we're living in right now. So phoning a friend, connecting with a stranger, finding a neighbor, helping others in need. I can tell you I have a daughter who's a nurse. She logged 119 hours of overtime last month. So they need our support, that's for sure. So yeah, it's a time filled with a lot of different emotions. I hope that you guys were able to find something in here that can kind of help you get through the times that we're going through. And I really appreciate all of you guys giving me your time today, and thanks for having me. You guys are really kind. Thank you. So we have questions. If you guys have anything, feel free.
How's business, Wendy? Are you able to do any?
Washington being one of the few that shut down, I'm sure y'all have heard about it. We actually are still functioning. We're functioning under the small part of the contract that says if a facility can be damaged by us not providing our service, which roofing, we're lucky enough that that is the case. The phone is still ringing off the hook. I'm very blessed right now, and new construction has come to a grinding halt, but we're getting through it. And I'm hoping, we just got word from the Columbia Bank that our PPP loan has been pushed through. So next month, as that new construction really hits us, I think we're gonna be okay. Yeah, thank you for asking.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What kind of roofing do you do?
So I am predominantly a residential roofer. We do commercial and smaller commercial, like flat roof, but everything in terms of types, shake, tile, flat roof, shingles, and then we do repairs on all of that. But I've focused on the residential piece more because I like people, and I like having the community of people that we've helped, and knowing that, especially for females, I think that our industry is it's very hard on both elderly people and females for taking advantage of people. And I really feel a passion for making sure that we can help the residential people out. So yeah.
That's great.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So talk to us about Tesla tiles for the roof.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. So Tesla tiles were created to be solar tiles for the shingles. And basically they're installed just like a regular shingle. Some of them are in panels and some of them can be regular. It's an interesting story with Tesla. So I'm all over this, right? This is a big deal for me, and it's new. And we signed up to be an installer right away. And then Tesla kind of got, I don't know if it's greedy or if they just couldn't control the variables, but they decided to take that all in-house and have their own installers do it. And now we're back to the place where they're opening back up to the market and asking us to be installers again. But unfortunately for Tesla, there are 2 other products on the market now that are proving to be a little more advanced. And one of them is coming out from a company called GAF. That is actually a shingle manufacturer who has now moved into doing these solar tiles. And so the thing I'm most excited about, solar is going to be hit and miss for our area. I don't know how much electricity we're really going to be able to generate. But one of the things to tell you about, just a little sneak peek in the background, is there are shingles being made right now, tested for movement. So rain running across this shingle would have the potential of generating, and I told them we could power the whole country just from the Pacific Northwest. So
really?
Yeah, that'll be an interesting one. I don't know, they're still in development, R&D, but it's sounding very promising.
So Wendy, comparative price-wise, a standard high-quality roof compared to a Tesla or one of the other solar tiles, what is the price differential?
Depends on your need for space, Carol. So if you're talking about like half the roof, it's anywhere from 2 to 3 times the normal charge of a normal tile. The GAF one's getting us a little closer, but the thing that they're missing is that Tesla battery piece where you can store your own energy. And that's kind of one of those keys to the pieces. So, but yeah, it's not going to be cheap because it's new. If you catch this in 10 years, it would definitely be a little better.
I need
costly.
a roof within 10 years.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have another question, please.
Sure.
Do you offer a roof cleaning service?
We do. Yeah, we do full roof cleanings, maintenance. And you know, one of the things I'll tell you guys just from a contractor standpoint, do not let anybody power wash your roofs. One of the things that keeps your roof shingles watertight are the granules. So you would think it would be the matting that would keep your roof watertight, but it actually is the granules that are embedded in the tar on the top of your shingles that keep them watertight. And so when you have anybody power wash in any way, shape, or form other than a tile roof, tiles are the exception, obviously, you do not want to have pressure washing done. So
Yeah, I've even heard that on tile roofs, why you have to be careful because you can take the glaze off and pretty soon the tile discolors and brush.
You want to be sure, like for us, you know, we hand scrape on a regular roof and then we knock everything down to the gutters and then they do a gutter cleaning. On a tile roof, there are times we just have to pressure wash because I'll tell you the truth, tile is not meant to be put on in our area. We have too much moisture. And so, you know, a lot of times just the flat moss embedding in the tiles, you do have to pressure wash to clean them. But someone who's cleaning your roof that's a tile roof should be removing the tiles because the number one place a tile roof will leak is in the valleys. They get debris built up in the valleys. And so we remove all those tiles, clean all the debris out, and then replace them. And then that also gives us a chance to look at your underlayment to make sure everything's still there.
Very good.
Is there
Wendy?
time? Oh, go
Wendy,
ahead.
yeah, I'm a retired remodeling contractor. And have you ever like been to a group of 10 other remodeling contractors around the country or business networks or something like that?
Norman, I lost you in the middle of that. What was the question again?
Okay, have you ever a business network group or a remodelers group of 10 or thing from other parts of the country?
Oh yeah, yeah. I actually speak at the International Roofing Expo and attend the Home Builders Association meetings. And my gosh, I'm on the board for Western States Roofing Contractors Association. And so yeah, there's a huge value in connecting with those.
Yeah, that's what we found out, that, you know, we found out we weren't the Lone Ranger out there. We weren't the only one with a problem.
Yeah.
It was kind of universal. Everybody had them going on. So.
Yeah. And what's beautiful and sad about our problem right now is all the businesses have the same problem, right? But we're very fortunate. Our industry, although it's not licensed like an electrician, and you know, where they have a lot of connection and say over who does what, we're a very tight group. And so yeah, we're very lucky. The National Roofers Contractors Association was one of the people that partnered with the National Association of Home Builders and has been in front of our legislature nationally at least 5 or 6 times trying to get the state of Washington opened back up, just for, you know, saying that construction nationwide should be essential. So yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, glad you're doing it.
Thank you. Did somebody else have a question? Was it Sarah?
Yes.
One more.
Yeah, this is a technical one. What about the waterproof covering you can put over a metal corrugated roof on a shed? That is
the spray on?
Yeah. Can you do that?
Yeah, we don't. That's called coatings, and we kind of stay out of that environment. It comes with a lot of minimums to purchase things with. So you don't buy a small jar of coating, you have to buy a gallon or a 25-gallon, you know, barrel kind of thing. And because we don't do a ton of commercial, we just don't have that. A lot of times what you'll find is if you want to seal a shed or something small that you have, some of the commercial roofers will have a residential division and they'll use their commercial products to do that.
It's about 30 feet by 40 feet. And can you recommend someone then?
You know, the one that I know that does that the most out here was Roof Toppers. Excuse me. They're the big commercial guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And you
Okay.
guys, I'll give Carol my email. I am always open to, if you guys have questions specific to your home or what you're hearing from a contractor. You know, one of the things that we've built our business on is relationships and honesty. And so I'm always a resource for all of you guys if you ever need questions answered or to kind of fact check some things you're hearing. Happy to help.
That's great.
Thank you. Thank you. So, yay!
And Wendy, thank you for
having
your
me.
advice, your coping advice. I think that's a good list. Should we need it?
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for sharing that.
Okay.
So, Ray
Now.
had a question.
Pardon?
Ray had a question earlier.
Ray, did you have a question? No?
No.
Okay. All right. Rick Smithrud. Are you going to get us a book for this? Hang on. Now try it.
I can do that.
Okay, cool. Wendy, the reason I asked that question is because for all of our presenters, one of the things that we do is we have a book that Rick picks out, hopefully if he can figure out a way to do it, specific to the subject. And he will give that to us, and we will then donate it to a particular elementary school. It's a children's book, and it will have a book plate with your name on it. So it will go into the permanent collection of one of the local elementary schools.
Oh my goodness, that sounds amazing.
Yes. And this is the first time I've had to make a speaker gift presentation virtually. So box.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh.
Oh, that's beautiful.
The box.
Made by Charles.
I'll have to figure out how to get it to you. But thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. And hopefully we'll have some folks that will avail themselves of you as a resource for all their roofing needs. And I appreciate that. Plus maybe a little resilience on top of it. Hey.
There you go.
Okay.
Last quick thing, Rick, would you check your email, please? I sent you a message, but you didn't see it. So, sorry, Charles. Thank you.
An email or chat?
Yeah, a chat. I sent him one privately, but he didn't see it, and it's important.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, Rick, if you can figure that one out before I shut you down, go for it, dude.
I have one thing too, Charles.
Okay. One thing I want to do, since we haven't seen Ray in some time, Ray, can you give us a little bit of an update on what you've been doing with yourself of late?
Well, it's a lot of development. I'm working very hard on the company. I'm working on the certification of need application for the state of Washington, and that's with the federal government. That's what's consuming my time. It's about 150-page document that I have to fill out for the state of Washington, which I'm working on currently. I'm still waiting from some data from the state of Washington, the U.S. Census, and the local Department of Vancouver Department of Health, the Department of Health here, as well as the assessor's office here in Vancouver for some data. Other than that, I'm just trying to maintain my health. As you guys know that I'm a heart patient. I'm just trying to quarantine myself. I do my virtual visits with my doctors and stay in contact with the team. And that's it. Other than that, I am just hanging in there, working hard. I'm sorry to neglect you guys. I know I haven't been around in a while, but it's just a lot happening. And like Mike said, I'm a duck, and I agree, because on the surface I'm calm, but underneath I'm paddling like crazy.
Well, it's good to see you, Ray.
So thank you, Lynn.
Thanks, Ray.
So that's what's going on. Hi, Lynn. Hello, everyone, guys. And just so you know, I miss and love all of you guys. When all of this dust settle here with what I'm doing, I'll sure to make sure you get out back again and start showing my face and socializing and being a social butterfly. But I have a lot of homework to do.
All right. Thanks, Ray.
You're welcome.
Anything else for the good of the order?
Charles, can I just ask that for all of you that have a Facebook page, if you wouldn't mind going to our club Facebook page and sharing out the DuckTales post. It's not too late to get an extra few bodies, and maybe you have some neighbors or some friends who don't have plans for dinner. So if we could get a few more people there today, that'd be great. Thanks for all your support, family.
What is the Facebook address?
Our Rotary Facebook address?
Oh, okay. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, look, scroll down, you'll see the post for DuckTales Restaurant.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
It's our club Facebook page.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
All right. Oh, let me grab my gong. We are adjourned.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks,
Sure.
everybody.
Have a great week, everybody.
Okay, likewise. Bye-bye.
I like looking at people's face.
I'm trying to figure out how to shut this down here.
I'll handle it for you here.
Okay, very good. I click on the exit button, but it's not doing anything.
See you later, Larry.
See ya.